Good morning, everyone. Good to be here with you. Get myself all set up, so bear with me. I would also, those of you who are on, I would love to know who's here. So there's a little chat box on the side here. Type in your name and where you're from if I don't know you. Okay. We're in business. Oh, good morning, Sheila. I know where you live. So good to be here with all of you. It's almost 4th of July weekend, and what a strange time to be embarking upon holiday weekends. So I'll wait at least a couple more minutes to make sure that everyone who wants to join has an opportunity to join. So we'll start in a couple more minutes. Props for today, blocks might be helpful, and what they might be helpful for is, in particular, it's figure 4 shape in a standing forward bend. We will be working with that a little bit today. And because we're waiting for a little bit, Marianne. Oh, yay. From Germany. Awesome, Marianne. So wonderful to have you here. Yeah, I definitely have seen you in plenty of my classes through YogaWorks. I would love to know who else is here. We do have another minute or so. So please type in the chat box. Say your name, where you're from. And again, just if you didn't hear the first time, a couple blocks might be helpful for practice today. So if you do have yoga blocks, hey, Kelly, good to see you again. Good morning, Megan. Megan and Sheila. You're both here again. So those of you just joining, we are just doing a little bit of a check-in. Good morning, Colleen. Oh, from Long Beach. Awesome. Colleen, have I met you in person before? We'll get started in just mere seconds. So last call, if you would like to check in, there's a little chat box on this side of the screen. Type it in, type your name, say hello, maybe tell me where you're from. It's always so much fun. And also, as you're probably typing, and that's processing. Oh, you found me through YogaWorks. Oh, awesome! Yay! Yeah, it's amazing with these online classes how it doesn't really matter where we live now. We can all meet one another online, and I think it's so beautiful and wonderful. So glad that we have connected, Colleen. So for practice today, 2 blocks might be helpful. We're going to work some arm balances into our practice. One of those involves a figure 4 shape, so Ekapada Dalabhasana, if you're familiar with that. So that's why the blocks might be helpful. And we had better get started. So I'm going to go to my mat. You go to yours. Take a comfortable seated position. And from this comfortable position, Lengthen through your spine. Rest your hands on your thighs. This is a 45-minute practice with a focus on some arm balances. Close your eyes. To start, let's join one another for a few rounds of Ujjayi Pranayama. Inhale deeply to prepare. Exhale, empty out completely. Create a light tone at the back of your throat. Tone and lift your pelvic floor. Inhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On your next inhale, join your palms together at the center of your chest. Exhale, empty out completely. And inhale for one Om. Gently blink your eyes open. Lower your hands down to your thighs. And from here, come to hands and knees. Spread your fingers wide. And then on your next inhale, come into a little back bend. Come into cow pose. Exhale, round your spine. Come into cat. A few more times. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale, round your spine for cat. And 3 more. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale, round your spine, cat. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come into a neutral spine. Curl your toes under. Lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. 1 more breath here to get settled. And inhale, lift your right leg up toward the ceiling, 3-legged down dog. Exhale, place your right foot all the way up between your hands. Stay low, bring your right hand to the inner edge of your right foot and plant your palms flat. You can stay here or lower your forearms down to the floor or onto a block. A few breaths in, lizard pose. Press the back of your left thigh up toward the ceiling. Hug your inner right thigh in toward the right side of your torso. Just getting a few little foreshadowing stretches, movements in before we dive fully into practice. And then walk back up. If you have a block, move it out of the way. And step back to plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly with control. Point your feet. Inhale, curl your chest up, Cobra, Bhujangasana. Exhale, lower your chest all the way back down. 1 more time. Inhale, Bhujangasana. Exhale, lower your chest all the way back down. Curl your toes under. Lift your hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale deeply. Exhale, lower your knees down to the floor and point your feet. This time around, spread your fingers wide. And even press down through your fingertips. Activate your palms and the muscles in your forearms a little bit more. On your inhale, lengthen through your spine. On your exhale, round just your upper back. Keep looking down between your hands. Think of lifting your upper back up between your shoulder blades and rounding. A few more times like that. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. And exhale, press down into the floor. Lift your upper back up. Think of almost pulling your sternum towards your back. 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, press down into the floor and puff your spine up between your shoulder blades. Same thing. 1 more time. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, press down into the floor and puff your spine up between your shoulder blades. And inhale, lengthen through your spine. Curl your toes under. Lift your hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, lift your left leg up toward the ceiling. Exhale, place your left foot all the way up between your hands. And again, stay low. Bring your left hand to the inner edge of your left foot. Plant your palms flat. You can stay right here or lower down to your forearms on the floor or lower down to a block. And take a few steady breaths here. Press the back of your right thigh up toward the ceiling. Hug your inner left thigh in toward the left side of your torso. Couple more breaths. Priming the body for the shapes that we're going to take. And then walk back up to your palms. If you have a block, move it out of the way. Place your left hand to the outer edge of your left foot. Step back to plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly with control. Point your feet. Inhale, curl your chest up, cobra. Exhale, lower your chest all the way back down. One more time. Inhale, Bhujangasana, cobra. Exhale, lower your chest all the way back down. Curl your toes under. Lift your hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And take one more inhale here. On your exhale, walk your hands back to your feet and come into a standing forward bend at the back of your mat. You'll toe your feet all the way together until they're touching. Bend your knees, lower your hips all the way down to your heels. Widen your knees, outer hip width distance apart, and stretch your arms forward, coming into Malasana, squatting pose. Translates as garland pose. And inhale, look up toward your hands. Hook one arm at a time across the fronts of your shins. Lay your palms down well. Spread your fingers. Lift your hips up high, keeping the contact of upper arms to shins. Rock your weight forward onto your hands. Claw the floor with your fingertips. Activate your palms. Press down into the floor and puff your spine up between your shoulder blades. Then look toward the front edge of your mat. Send your chest a little further forward. And either alternate lifting one foot and then the other, or lift both feet up. Keep on clawing the floor with your fingertips and puffing your spine up. That's your brake system. It helps to hold you in place even as you continue to send your weight forward. And then lower your feet back down. Okay, we'll come back around to that. Bring your inner thighs into touch. Bring your heels down to the floor. Heel toe your feet out hip width distance apart and crawl your hands to the top of your mat. Come back into downward facing dog. Inhale deeply. And exhale completely. Take one more inhale. On your exhale, bend your knees, walk or hop forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine, draw your gaze forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold down over your legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise all the way up, join your palms, Urdhva Namaskarasana. Exhale, lower your arms down by your sides and stand tall, Tadasana. Okay, place your hands on your hips. From here, bend your knees a little bit. Lift your right leg up really high and hook your right thigh over your left. And if you can, even tuck your right toes back behind your left calf for Garudasana, eagle pose. Stretch your arms forward. Loop your right arm underneath your left. Cross your forearms. Bring your palms together. And take a breath more upright. Hug your arms in toward one another. Hug your inner thighs, your legs in toward one another. And lower your torso down towards your right thigh. Slowly, carefully. And then lift your torso all the way back up. Good. And calmly unwind your legs. Unwind your arms. Place your hands on your hips and hug your right thigh up in toward your chest. Reach your right arm inside your right thigh, clasp your right big toe. Stretch your right leg forward just as much as you can right now. All right, we're gonna come after this a few times. So right now, keeping the knee bent feels better. Just know that you have some more rounds to be able to increase. Draw your right arm and right leg out to your right. And then draw your right arm and right leg back forward. Now, bend your left knee, the supporting leg knee. Bend your right knee. Externally rotate your right hip and hook your right ankle over the top of your left thigh. Begin to fold down over your legs for a figure four stretch. If you have blocks close by, you can even momentarily come out of the pose and bring your hands underneath your blocks. Knowing that this is going to be a repeated feature, you might even just keep your blocks close to the top of your mat. Couple more breaths here. To increase the stretch, try bending your left knee just a little bit deeper. And then strengthen your left leg, place your hands on your hips, and lift your torso all the way up. And bring your right thigh in towards your belly again. And try stretching your right leg forward, straight. Yeah, for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your right foot all the way down to the floor. And inhale here. And exhale, bend your knees, reach down toward the floor. Inhale, lift your chest and arms up, Utkatasana. Sit as deep as possible and then lower your belly down to your thighs. Reach forward. Then lean forward a little bit. Lift your heels, widen your knees apart, and sink down into Malasana. And take a breath here. Hook one arm at a time across the fronts of your shins. Lay your palms down. Lift your hips up high. Rock your weight forward. Claw the floor with your fingertips. Press down, puff your spine up between your shoulder blades. Send your weight forward. And lift your feet up, Bakasana. Same process as we did just a moment ago. When pressing down, puffing up. Those of you can straighten your arms, straighten your arms. And either lower your feet and then Vinyasa or straight to Vinyasa. And to downward facing dog. Inhale deeply. And exhale completely. Inhale, lift your right leg up toward the ceiling, three-legged down dog. Exhale, place your right foot all the way up between your hands and come up into warrior one. Spin your left heel in and down, rise up. And either keep your gaze straight forward or draw your gaze up and join your palms. Anchors through your left heel, draw from your left heel all the way up to your fingertips. And perhaps bend your right knee a little deeper. One more inhale here. Reach up. Bring your palms to the center of your chest, look forward. Lay your belly down onto your right thigh. Spin your left heel up. Come forward and up into warrior three. Stretch back through your left heel and forward to the crown of your head. Keep knitting your ribcage in and up and stay steady. And keep your left leg as it is. Lower your fingertips down to the floor. And lower your left toes down to the floor and lightly tap. And lift your left leg back up until it's parallel to the floor. And lower down and tap. And lift it back up. And do that a few more times. And don't touch down to the floor every single time. You don't want to stop the momentum. Hover above the floor and then kick straight back up. After a few, it's like I'm already feeling it, you're likely to feel some sensation in the back of your left thigh. It's a hamstring activator. And we will be using it for an arm balancing pose pretty soon. Okay, then pause on up. Good. And then keep on stretching back through your left heel. Lift your torso up a little, bring your palms back to the center of your chest, warrior three. Bend your right knee, guide the ball of your left foot down to the floor, and come up into crescent lunge. Exhale, sink down into your legs a little bit further. Inhale, reach up, stretch up just a little bit higher. Bring your torso forward about 45 degrees. Drag your left foot in until your weight is fully on your right foot. Loop your left leg up and around. Hook your left ankle over the top of your right thigh. Inhale here. And exhale, fold down over your legs. So coming to the second side. Again, blocks underneath your hands would be really helpful. You can grab them. Couple more breaths. If you want to deepen the stretch, bend your right knee a little deeper. Okay, fantastic. Place your hands on your hips, lift your torso up, and lower your left foot down next to your right. And bend your knees a couple inches. Lift your left leg up really high. Hook your left thigh over your right. And maybe even tuck your left toes back behind your right calf. Coming into leg position for Garudasana. Stretch your arms forward. Loop your left arm underneath your right. Cross your forearms and bring your palms together. But wrapping your legs around one another. Wrap your arms around one another as well. This helps you to hold your balance. And lower your belly down to your left thigh. Breathe. And lift your torso back up. Unwind your legs, hug your left thigh in towards your belly. Place your hands on your hips. And reach your left hand down to clasp your left big toe. Stretch your left leg forward just as much as you can. Again, it doesn't have to get all the way straight right now. In fact, it's going to be hard to get it straight after those hamstring exercises. And draw your left arm and left leg out to your left. And take another breath or two here. Draw your left arm and left leg back forward. Bend your right knee, then bend your left knee. Externally rotate your left hip and hook your left ankle over the top of your right thigh and fold down over your legs, figure four stretch. And again, if you have blocks close by, you might grab them, place your hands on them if it's difficult to bring your fingertips down to the floor. Couple more breaths. If you want to deepen the stretch, bend your right knee a little deeper. All right. And from here, place your hands on your hips, lift your torso up, and then stretch your left leg forward. Just as high as you can. Stretch your heel forward. Breathe. One more breath. And then slowly lower your left foot all the way down. And inhale here. Exhale, bend your knees, reach your fingertips down toward the floor. Inhale, lift your chest and arms up, Utkatasana. And sit as deep as possible in this shape. Even bring your belly down to your thighs, stretch your arms forward. Then lean forward a little bit. Lift your heels a little, widen your knees apart, come into Malasana. Hook one arm at a time across the fronts of your shins. Place your palms down onto your mat. Lift your hips up high, rock your weight forward. Claw the floor with your fingertips, press down, puff your spine up between your shoulder blades. Then send your gaze and your weight, your chest forward. Lift your feet up. And then maybe even straighten your arms. Those of you who know the straight arm form of the pose. Either lower your feet and then Vinyasa or straight to Vinyasa, to downward facing dog. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Inhale, lift your left leg up toward the ceiling, three-legged down dog. Exhale, place your left foot all the way up between your hands and come up into Warrior One. Either keep your gaze forward or draw your gaze up and join your palms. Take a few more breaths here. Anchor through your right heel and draw from your right heel all the way up to your arms. Bring your palms to the center of your chest, look forward. Lower your belly down to your left thigh, spin your right heel up. Drag your right foot in until your weight's on your left foot and come up into Warrior Three. Stretch back to your right heel and forward through the crown of your head. Get your ribcage in and up. And breathe. Steady. Keep your right leg as it is. Lower your fingertips all the way down to the floor. And lower your right toes down and lightly tap and lift your right leg back up. And again, lower down and tap and lift back up. Do a few more rounds. You don't have to touch down all the way. In fact, better if you just hover your toes off the floor and then kick back up. Doesn't stop momentum that way. And I know I'm starting to feel it now. Hopefully you are too. Hamstrings on the back of your right leg. Maybe even into the gluteal muscles on the right-hand side. In particular, gluteus maximus. Okay, now pause on up. Keep your right leg there. And lift your torso up a little. Bring your palms back to the center of your chest. Come back into Warrior Three. Bend your left knee. Guide the ball of your right foot down to the floor. And lift your torso up. Exhale, sink down into your legs here. And inhale, reach up, stretch up. Bring your torso forward about 45 degrees. Drag your right foot in until your weight's on your left foot. Loop your right leg up and around. Hook your right ankle over the top of your left thigh. And then fold down over your legs. So again, coming to the second side. Couple more breaths. If you want to deepen the stretch, bend your left knee a little deeper. And place your hands on your hips, lift your torso up, And lower your right foot down. Bend your knees, hop your feet hip-width distance apart. Inhale, lengthen through your spine, look up slightly. Exhale, hinge forward from your hips. Clasp your big toes with index, middle finger, and thumb. Inhale, straighten your arms, stretch your chest forward. Exhale, fold down over your legs in Padangusthasana. Bring your belly close to your thighs. Bending your knees as much as needed to get that to happen. And then think of lifting your hips up toward the ceiling. Stretching some of the hamstring activation workout before we move on. One more breath. Inhale, straighten your arms, stretch your chest forward, and tuck your hands underneath your feet this time. Padahastasana, bring your toes up toward your wrist creases, and then fold down over your legs again. Take a couple breaths here. Okay. Inhale, straighten your arms, stretch your chest forward. Extract your hands from beneath your feet. Place your hands on your hips. And inhale, lift your torso all the way up. Exhale, bend your knees, hop your feet back in. Great. Bend your knees a couple inches. Lift your right leg up. Hook your right thigh over your left and wrap your legs around one another. Garudasana. Stretch your arms forward. Loop your right arm underneath your left. Cross your forearms and bring your palms together. And take a breath here. Hug your arms in toward one another. Wrap your legs strongly around one another. Lower your torso down towards your right thigh. Take a breath there. And lift your torso back up slowly, calmly. Unwind your legs and hug your right thigh in toward your chest. Unwind your arms and reach down, clasp your right big toe. Stretch your right leg forward. Utthita Padangusthasana. Draw your right arm and right leg out to your right. Draw your right arm and right leg back forward. Bend your left knee, bend your right knee. Hook your right ankle over the top of your thigh. And then fold down over your legs. Now, this time around, you can do something similar to what we did the first time. You can come back up and then come down into Bakhasana. Or you might pause for a couple more breaths here and come into Ekapada Galavasana. So if you're not coming into, you might know this is flying pigeon. If you're not coming into the arm balance with this leg shape, give yourself permission to come up. If you are coming after this pose, I'll talk you through it. Bend your left knee a little deeper. Walk your hands forward. Plant them as flat as possible. And lean forward, lift your left heel. Use your left leg to guide your shin up high into your upper arms, as close to your armpits as possible. And flex your right foot around your upper left arm. Lean forward like Bakhasana. Claw the floor with your fingertips. Puff your spine up. Hug your left heel towards your left hip. Then press down to your shin and your right foot. And stretch your left leg back. Kick your heel up, just like the hamstring drills. Either come down and then Vinyasa, or straight to Vinyasa from there. And to downward facing dog. And we'll meet in downward facing dog, so make your way there if you haven't already. One more breath. Inhale, lift your right leg up toward the ceiling, three-legged down dog. Exhale, place your right foot all the way up between your hands and come up into warrior two. Take a breath here, get grounded, and inhale deeply. Exhale, reverse warrior. Take a breath here, stretch. Inhale, warrior two. And exhale, side angle pose. Bring your hand to the inner edge of your foot for this one and stretch your left arm up. Use your right arm to press into your inner right thigh to stretch your right hip. You can stay here or wrap your arms around your right thigh for bound Parjva Konasana. And take another breath. Trikonasana, you can keep the bind for bound version, or you can release the bind, straighten your right leg. And if you have the bind, particularly important to notice the sensations on the back of your right thigh. If there's pulling, that means your hamstrings are not happy. Back off. And bend your right knee, unwind your arms. Reach your right fingertips in front of your right foot. Slide your left foot in, lift it up. Ardha Chandrasana. Draw from your right foot all the way up into your right hip. Stretch your left heel back and the crown of your head forward. And If you feel very balanced, draw your head out toward the side and maybe even up. And slowly bring your left fingertips down to the floor. Square your hips toward the floor. And this time come into standing split. Walk your hands back by the sides of your right foot. Fold your face in. Stretch your heel up. Walk your hands forward. Either come straight through Vinyasa or a couple hops up toward handstand on your way back through Vinyasa. Up to you. Your choice. Okay. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. So begin to make your way there if you haven't already. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Then inhale, lift your left leg up toward the ceiling. Exhale, place your left foot all the way between your hands. Inhale, lift your torso up, crescent lunge. Exhale, sink down into your legs. Inhale, reach up through your arms and your torso. Tip your torso forward about 45 degrees. Drag your right foot in. Flip your right leg up and around. Come into a figure four shape. Fold down over your legs. Take a couple breaths here. Same side this time. And then bring your hands to your hips. Lift your torso up. Lower your right leg down. Now from here, bend your knees. Lift your left leg up. Hook your left thigh over your right. And maybe even tuck your left toes back behind your left calf. Stretch your arms forward. Loop your left arm underneath your right. Cross your forearms. Bring your palms together. Wrap your legs around one another. Your arms around one another. And breathe. Bring your torso down to your left thigh. Take a breath here. And then lift your torso back up. Unwind your legs, hug your left thigh in toward your belly. Unwind your arms, reach down, clasp your left big toe. Then stretch your left leg forward. Utthita Padangusthasana. Draw your left arm and left leg out to your left. And then draw your left arm and left leg back forward. Bend your right knee, bend your left knee. Externally rotate your left hip and hook your left ankle over the top of your right thigh. So again, options here are to stay in the figure four stretch. Again, so you can be using your blocks for this too. You can stay in it for a while, then come up and squat down to come into Bakasana. Or you can take it into Ekapada Galavasana, which is what I'll talk you through. Okay. I need to give yourself some more space at the top of your mat to start. And walk your hands forward. Lift your right heel. Use your back leg to guide your left shin up as high on your arms as possible. Think of trying to put your shin in your armpits. Flex your left foot around your upper right arm. Lean forward. Claw the floor with your fingertips. Puff your spine up. And hug your right heel towards your right hip. And to take it further, press down through your shin, the top of your left foot. Stretch your right leg back, kick your right heel up. It's hamstring exercises come into play here. And you can either lower down and then Vinyasa or shoot back Vinyasa to downward facing dog. Inhale deeply. And exhale completely. Inhale, lift your left leg up toward the ceiling, three-legged down dog. Exhale, place your left foot all the way between your hands and come up into warrior two. Root down through your feet and settle down into this shape. Inhale here. Exhale, reverse warrior. Tip your torso over your right leg. And take another breath here. Lengthen through the left side of your body. Inhale, come back up through warrior two. Exhale, side angle pose. Do bring your hand to the inner edge of your foot for this one. Yeah. And stretch your right arm up. Use your left arm to press into your inner left leg to open up that hip a little bit more. You can stay here or wrap your arms around your left thigh, bound Parsva Konasana. And you can keep the bind for Trikonasana or release it to come into Trikonasana. And straighten your left leg. Again, really being mindful of how the back of your left thigh feels, right? We don't want to push it. And bend your left knee, unwind your arms, reach your left fingertips forward, and come forward and up into half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. Draw from your left foot into your left hip, stretch your right heel back, the crown of your head forward. If you feel really balanced, you can look toward the side wall or even up. And slowly bring your right fingertips down to the floor, square your hips toward the floor, and come into standing split. To deepen the stretch, walk your hands back by the sides of your left foot, fold your face in, and stretch your right heel higher. And walk your hands forward, either come straight through Vinyasa or a couple hops up toward handstand on your way back through Vinyasa. Okay, all. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. So begin to make your way there. If you haven't already, inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Inhale, lift your right leg up toward the ceiling. Exhale, place your right foot all the way between your hands. Inhale, lift your torso up. Exhale, sink down into your legs. And draw your torso forward about 45 degrees. Drag your left foot in. Loop your left leg up and around into a figure four stretch. And fold down over your legs. And breathe. Breathe deeply and evenly. Couple more breaths. Okay. Place your hands on your hips. Lift your torso up. And lower your left foot all the way down next to your right. Bend your knees a couple inches. Lift your right leg up. Hook your right thigh over your left. Maybe even tuck your right toes back behind your left calf. Stretch your arms forward. Hook your right arm underneath. Wrap your forearms together really firmly. Wrap your legs together. Wrap your arms together. And then lower your torso down toward your right thigh. And lift your torso back up. Unwind your legs. Hug your right thigh in toward your chest. Wrap your arms. Reach down, clasp your right big toe, and then stretch your right leg forward. Okay, and draw your right arm and right leg out to your right. Now, you might stay here, or you might come into bird of paradise. To do so, bend your right knee as deeply as possible, and lean forward. Keep your right leg high. Wrap your arms around your right thigh, and then lift your torso back up. From here, straighten your right leg. And then, if you're in bird of paradise, bend your right knee again. Release the bind, regain the clasp on your right big toe, stretch your right leg out to the side. Draw your right arm and right leg forward. And now this time around, try to keep your right leg up, slowly release the clasp on your right foot. Place your right hand on your right hip and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your right foot all the way down next to your left. Inhale here. Exhale, bend your knees, reach down toward the floor. Inhale, lift your chest and arms up, Utkatasana. And sit as deep as possible. Bring your belly down to your side. Stretch forward. Lean forward a little bit and come into Malasana one more time. This time around, you can come into Bakasana again, or I'll talk you through how to come into Ekapada Bakasana 1. So you'll either do as usual, hook both arms, or if you're coming after the one-legged crow pose, point your left knee forward like you're trying to bring your left thigh in toward your belly button. Hook your right arm on your right shin, lay your right palm down, and don't hook your left arm. So it's just kind of free floating here. Then lift your hips up high. Rock your weight forward, claw the floor with your fingertips, press down, puff up. Then lean at a diagonal to your right. Really lean onto your right arm. Lift one foot and then the other foot. Press down with your right hand and then maybe even stretch your left leg back. And either lower down and then Vinyasa or straight through Vinyasa to downward facing dog. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Inhale, lift your right leg up toward the ceiling. Exhale, place your right foot all the way between your hands and come up into warrior two. Inhale here. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, side angle pose with your hand to the inner edge. Stretch your left arm up. Again, same options. Stay here or wrap your arms around your right thigh. And same options again here. Either bound Trikonasana or regular Trikonasana. Keeping an awareness of how your right leg feels. No pulling through your hamstrings. Then, bend your right knee. Either keep the bind or release it this time. Hop your left foot in. Ardha Chandrasana or bound Ardha Chandrasana. For bound Ardha Chandrasana, bring all of your weight onto your right foot. Look down toward the floor. Try to find a point of balance. Lift the back leg up. Okay. Now, if you have the bind, try to release it and keep yourself in Ardha Chandrasana. Oh, yeah. And then bring your left fingertips down to the floor, square your hips toward the floor, come into standing split. Walk your hands back by the sides of your right foot, stretch your left heel out. Walk your hands forward, either come straight through Vinyasa or a couple little hops up toward handstand on your way back through Vinyasa. Up to you. Okay, and we'll meet in downward facing dog. So begin to make your way there if you haven't already. And take another breath. Inhale deeply. On your exhale, bend your knees, walk or hop forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine, draw your gaze forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold down over your legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise all the way up, join your palms, Urdhva Namaskarasana. Exhale, lower your arms down by your sides. Okay, last little piece. Place your hands on your hips, bend your knees a couple inches. Lift your left leg up. Hook your left thigh over your right. And maybe even try to tuck your left toes behind your right calf. Stretch your arms forward. Loop your left arm underneath your right. Cross your forearms, bring your palms together. Garudasana. Lower your torso down toward your left thigh. And then lift your torso back up. Unwind your legs, hug your left thigh in toward your chest. Unwind your arms, stretch your left hand down, clasp your left big toe. Stretch your left leg forward. Utthita Hasta Pangushtasana. Draw your left arm and left leg out to your left. You may stay right here. Or for bird of paradise from here, bend your left knee, keep your left thigh high, lean forward, wrap your arms around your left thigh, and lift your torso back up. And straighten your left leg as much as you can. Okay, and bend your left knee. You have bird of paradise. Regain the clasp on your left big toe. Stretch it out. Draw your left arm and left leg back forward, everyone. And as you release the clasp, keep your left leg up. Bring both hands to your hips and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your left foot down next to your right. And inhale here. Exhale, bend your knees, reach down toward the floor. Inhale, lift your chest and arms up, Utkatasana. Sit as deep as you can. Lower your belly down to your thighs, stretch forward, and then sink all the way down into Malasana. You may come into Bakasana again. Or again, for Ekapada Bakasana on the second side, point your right knee forward, bringing your right thigh into your belly. And hook just your left arm across the front of your left shin. Lay both palms down, well. Lift your hips up high. And lean forward, claw the floor with your fingertips, puff your spine up. Lean at a diagonal toward your left arm. And lift one foot at a time. Keep on leaning toward your left arm. And maybe stretch your right leg back. Kick your heel up. And either lower down and then Vinyasa or Vinyasa to downward facing dog. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Inhale, lift your left leg up toward the ceiling. Exhale, place your left foot all the way between your hands and come up into warrior two. Inhale here. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, side angle pose. Bring your left hand to the inner edge of your left foot. Stretch your right arm up. And you can stay here or wrap your arms around your left thigh. Bound Parshva. And keep the bind or release it for Trikonasana. Straighten your left leg. And you may keep the bind or release it for Ardha Chandrasana. Bend your left knee, look down towards your left foot, drag your right foot in until your weight is fully on your left foot. And try to straighten your left leg as much as possible. Keep your gaze at one point. This one's all about focus. If you have the bind, try to release it and stay balanced. Your torso will have to lift up a bit. And then lower your right hand down, square your hips toward the floor, and come into standing split. Stretch your right heel high. Walk your hands forward. Either come straight through Vinyasa or a couple little hops up toward handstand on your way back through Vinyasa. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Begin to make your way there if you haven't already. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Inhale, shift forward plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly with control. Bend your knees, point your toes up toward the ceiling. Stretch one hand back at a time, clasp the outer edges of your feet. And come into Dhanurasana. Kick back into your hands and kick up a little bit. Focus mainly on stretching through the front of your chest. So it might mean that this isn't as deep a back bend as usual. But think of more kicking back, right? Front of our chest, our pectoralis muscles, they get really tight with all of those arm balancing poses. This is a counter stretch for that. Lower your thighs down. And then turn your head to your right. Rest for a moment. And come back to center, bend your knees, reach back, clasp the outer edges of your feet, press your pubic bone down. And again, think of kicking up a little bit, mostly kicking back. Just stretch to open the front of your chest, your shoulders, your pectoralis muscles. And lower all the way down. Turn your head to your left this time. Drape your arms by your sides. Turn your gaze back forward. Place your hands underneath your shoulders. Come back up over your knees. And then swing your legs out along the floor in front of you. Lie down on your back. Bend your knees and place the soles of your feet on the floor. Two options here. Just one more back bend. You come into bridge pose or full wheel pose. Start by pressing your hands down, your arms down. Peel your buttocks off the floor, low back, middle back, upper back. You may stay here or place your hands underneath your shoulders. And come the rest of the way up into Urdhva Dhanurasana. Couple more breaths where you are. And then slowly make your way out of the pose you're in. Bring your arms out by your sides. And then lift your shins up until they're parallel to the floor. Draw your legs down to your right. Twist your chest to your left. Inhale, come back up to center. Draw your legs down to your left. Twist your chest to your right. Look over your right arm. Inhale, come back up to center. Hug your thighs into your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins like you're giving yourself a big hug. And slowly release the clasp around your legs. Extend your legs out fully. Extend your arms out fully. Get yourself in a really comfortable position for Shavasana. And sink down in here for a little while. Allow yourself to rest. Slowly begin to deepen your breath and start to feel awareness come back into your body little by little. As you're ready, bend one knee at a time and carefully roll to your right side. Make your way back up to a comfortable seated position. Join your palms together at the center of your chest. Rest your thumbs up close to your heart. And to end our practice today, let's join one another for one last triumphant Om. Inhale deeply. Exhale, empty out completely. And inhale for Om. Thank you all so very much for the gift of your company today. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. That was fun. Always a good way to wake up in the morning. So good to practice with you. Just so you know, I will not be teaching public classes next week, so this class won't happen next week, but it will be back the following week. So do check your inboxes. If you're not on my email list, go to NicholeChaseYoga.com and sign up. I do send out the links for this class through there. So I will be away next week, filming some things for a yoga project, but I will be back the following week with all of my classes. As you know, there are recordings of all the classes I teach on YouTube. So if you do want to just, go back and choose a class, you can practice on Friday at the same time. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your dedication to this practice. Thank you for doing this really powerful work on yourself. It helps us all to show up more fully, especially when it's challenging. And it is a challenging time right now. So thank you for being here. Your presence is definitely felt. I love you all so much, and I'm wishing that you continue to be safe and healthy. All right, until next time, have a wonderful week. I am teaching 2 classes tomorrow on July 4th, so if you want to check that out through YogaWorks and Love Story Yoga. All right, announcements done. Thanks all. Love you.